The great apologists for the Anglo-American economies, especially those preeminent economists such as Milton Friedman and Paul Krugman and an assortment of others of their ilk, have attempted to create a new national, or shall we say world myth, regarding the nature of capitalism. Their patron saints are, of course, a litany that's probably very familiar to the listener. They include Adam Smith and Thomas Malthus, David Ricardo, and now closer to our hearts, such great thinkers as Kenneth Arrow, Paul Samuelson, Gary Becker, and, of course, John Maynard Keynes. The concept of capitalism has been sold to the people of the world, and particularly the people of the Anglo-Saxon world, as being rather simple. We have a lot of individual players. Individuals have tried to maximize their freedom by playing the market, and the market is, of course, the great arbiter. And the great propagandists have done well in expurgating Smith. They have taken selective chunks from his arguments. They have done a great job in expurgating Keynes and essentially taking those tidbits which seem to support their ideas of libertarian freedoms for the benefit of maximizing wealth. Unfortunately, really existing capitalism is as much a part of the great smokescreen, as much part of the sort of Chinese room mythology as any of the propaganda that has been given to the West with regard to communism. It seems as though a lot of our illustrious propagandists, be they Krugman, be they Becker, be they Friedman, have attempted to take Smith and use his name, take Keynes, use his name, and have not told us what they really said. The capitalist myth is one that dominates the lives of probably in excess of 50 to maybe 75% of the world's population. And the world's population must know that American-style capitalism, which is now slowly, like a disease, like a plague, so to speak, accommodating the world's economies, must be revealed for what it really is. It is no more than another form of state capitalism, and I'd like to define my terms. Free market capitalism, of course, is the religion of the day, especially within the United States, and probably we can be safe to say is the religion of the English-speaking world. Free market capitalism believes in the infinite capacity of the market to absorb goods, and the absolute infinite capacity for individuals to play a part in that market. The idea is that government, for all intents and purposes, should maintain the integrity of contracts, should, of course, attend to law and order, and should not play a great role in economics as much as is possible. Unfortunately, that is very, very far from the truth. The vast majority of players in the world economy, in fact 67% of the economy of the United States, is dominated not by individuals, but by conglomerates. In other words, cooperative organizations that orbit around the whim of stockholders. They are otherwise known as corporations. Corporations do not fit in the great scheme, the great anti-mercantilist scheme of Smith. If anyone has read The Wealth of Nations, one realizes that. The government indeed plays a great role. And when Eisenhower left office in the 1950s, he honestly warned the American people that a military-industrial complex would raise its head. This is obviously just the logical progression of capitalism. The idea is, as you consolidate capital, it becomes more and more necessary for the government, of course, to regulate the whims of the market. Fewer players mean that the market is subject to greater and greater fluctuations, a greater tendency to fall into recession and depression. So, what we find is that the government has attempted to do away with a lot of the great market forces that Smith describes. The idea is that more and more of American taxpayer money and more of the capital capacity of the United States is put into the hands of corporations through indirect means or through means that have been kept from the immediate sight of the American public and the world in general. The idea of a defense budget, which has been as high as $400 billion a year, has given the Americans a great sense of security. The belief that all of that money is essentially put into the hands of defense contractors for the defense of our beloved homeland from all of those evil demons that seek to rape and pillage from the coast of the United States. What is indeed the truth is that the vast majority of this are used as means of propping up large high-tech industries that really can't compete due to inefficiency, due to deadweight loss, and other negative externalities within the market. For example, the United States semiconductor industry collapsed in the 1980s primarily due to competition from their counterparts in Japan. The result has been in excess of $100 billion worth of American taxpayer money in the development of two corporations, first United Memories and second Semitech. as an attempt to get the United States back into the high end of the semiconductor market. This does not obey free market capitalism. In fact, some very good sources, including Steve Brower and Noam Chomsky, have pointed out that were it not for taxpayer intervention, the vast majority of American businesses that are part of the world's Fortune 500 probably would not be in existence today. The Europeans are very much more open in terms of their use of social control over industries, including cooperatives that include Airbus Industries and others that are quite famous. The Americans, therefore, must be addressed in specific. If indeed we are a free market capitalist society, we have absolute freedom, we have liberties of individuals participating in the market, then why is it necessary that corporations should subsume greater and greater part of the gross domestic product of this country? Why is it that we should reduce the discretionary income of Americans and lower their wages in favor of giving more and more money to the otherwise inefficient capacities of our corporations? This doesn't seem to make very much sense if one actually believes in Smithian capitalism. On the other hand, it seems as though the free market capitalists have misread Keynes. It's very odd that the most influential economist probably of the late 20th century, seems to have been grossly misread as being a Ricardian capitalist when he's quite the opposite. If one remembers that the New Deal was based on Keynesianist ideas, the idea of the government's responsibility to pump prime the economy, one realizes that this cannot possibly jibe with the free market capitalist propaganda that's given to us by such luminaries as Krugman and Becker. In the most influential book of right-wing capitalist thought, probably written since the end of the Second World War, is Milton Friedman's famous Capitalism and Freedom. Capitalism and freedom have often been linked within the American psyche, that one is necessary for the other. Any alternative to capitalism obviously impinges upon the freedom of the body politic, so to speak. The idea behind capitalism and freedom is just simply this. One must eliminate government's constraints on individual choice, on public choice, such that a capitalist economy in and of itself maximizes public choice, and government should stay out of the pot. Therefore, this is just yet another defense of libertarian right-wing capitalism. But the fact is, had the government stayed out of industry, it is likely that the United States would fall further behind in the industries in which it has already ceded preeminence to the Japanese and to the Western Europeans. The United States ceded its dominance in steel, mainly to the Japanese, and for a brief period of time in the 1980s to England. Further, they've ceded their preeminence in chemicals and machine tools to the Germans, and have ceded their dominance, are slowly ceding their dominance in aerospace to a united Europe. What's more, consumer electronics, of course, have been put in the hands of the Japanese and the Koreans, and this has been quite well publicized in the United States. The United States government has been incredibly responsible for propping up our corporations and propping up our gross domestic product through the use of public debt and through the use of taxpayer money. These are facts, and these are essentially the tenets of American state capitalism, without which we could not have the purportedly successful economy that we have. Let us shine the real light on really existing capitalism, as we have shown light on the really existing socialism around the world, and let us eliminate the capitalist myth.